So I'm making this video because I have so much on my mind and so much that I need to say about everything. I don't know. It's just so much stuff goes on daily that everybody just pushes aside and doesn't take any action upon, like bullying. For first off, it's ridiculous how people treat each other these days, and they don't even realize what it does and who all it affects. And it's just because people are so insecure about themselves that, and they're unhappy in their lives, that they feel like they need to make everybody else around them miserable. But you don't realize what bullying really does. Too many people are committing suicide these days because of bullies and stuff that people say. And it's absolutely sickening that people can say half the stuff that they say to each other and that no one stands up for it. You get called a coward if you stand up for yourself or if you stand up for other people. And it's ridiculous. You could be saving that person's life. I've bullied before. Everybody has. Everybody's been bullied. But I would have never thought that it would come down to this, to where people would be saying stuff to each other that it would hurt so bad and affect their lives so bad that they would take their own life. I just don't understand how one person can be so unhappy with themselves that they feel like they need to make everybody else miserable. If you're unhappy, that's your choice, that you aren't doing what makes you happy and that you won't get help to make you happy. But that doesn't mean that you need to harass and torture the people around you, because no one deserves that. No one does. And to think that it could have been the one thing that you said that pushed that person over the edge and made them feel like they had nothing to live for, that they couldn't take one more step, they couldn't live one more day because their life was horrible, so they took their own life. Just think next time that you make fun of someone or you make a comment to someone, that one thing can push them so far over the edge that they can take their life. It's ridiculous. Like, it needs to come to a stop. Like, I know kids in 3rd and 2nd grade that are bullying each other and harassing each other. It needs to stop. Like, it's way out of hand. I just don't even understand anymore how you could live with yourself knowing that you harassed someone and then they commit suicide. And it's not even the fact that people do commit suicide from it, but it's just the fact that you're ruining that person's life. You don't understand how bad it hurts, because stuff that you say affects you self-consciously, affects you emotionally, physically, spiritually. And it just breaks my heart that in this life, people have nothing better to do than to sit around and pick out every negative thing about somebody else because you're that unhappy with yourself. It has to stop before it gets worse. We've already lost how many people to suicide just this summer, this past year. I don't know how people think it's cool to bully each other and to make fun of people and gang up on people because you think you're better than them. You're no better than that person. Nobody is better than anybody. You are all equal. We are all equal. Everyone is equal. And just because you might have better clothes than them or more money than them, that's nothing. I would rather be poor and living on the streets than ever torment someone and have all the money in the world but be unhappy within myself. And calling people fat, I hear that all the time. People calling each other fat, calling each other ugly. You don't understand. When that person goes home, they are going to critique themselves and they're going to really focus in on the stuff that you bully them on and that you talk to them on, and they're gonna start nitpicking at every little thing, and it's gonna affect them and it's gonna drive them crazy because then they're gonna try to be perfect and they're gonna try to fix all the little things that you say negative about them. I've been there, I've done it, I've been bullied, I've been made fun of, and it's not fun. It affects you so bad, and not only you, but then you become so unhappy with yourself that you have all this anger toward the person that's bullying you, and all this unforgiveness. And it's not good to walk around with all that anger and all that unforgiveness in your heart, because then it's just going to lead you to do stuff that you shouldn't do. It's going to get you into trouble. And I don't know. It's just, people don't think before they say stuff. They just think, oh, well, if I make fun of the people that are less popular than me, or the people that don't dress like me, or that don't do what I do, then I'll be cool. No, it's not cool to bully each other and to torment each other and pick on somebody else because they might be in band and you're a cheerleader and you think that you're better than them. No, it's just that you have different likes and different personalities, and it doesn't make you any better. Like, if you're insecure within yourself, how does picking on somebody else and bullying somebody else make you feel any better? Maybe it makes you think that you're cool and that you have more power than them for what, maybe an hour tops. And then when you get home and you sit in your room at night and you think about what you did that day and what you said to somebody that day, it's going to start affecting your mind. It's going to start affecting you emotionally. And just think, put yourself in the other person's shoes and think about, what if that was somebody else calling me fat, or making fun of me because I'm fat, or making fun of me because I have different likes, or because I don't play a sport, I sing, or because you have a different hair color. I hear people making fun of people all the time because they have like blonde hair, or they have piercings or tattoos. Like, people are so judgmental, and I can't sit back and act like I've never done it, but I've stopped, and everybody else needs to. We need to step back and really look at how cruel and inconsiderate and selfish this world is. Like, it's so upsetting to think that not only when you're making fun of that person or you're hurting them, but you're mocking God because we were made in his image. And he loves us all for who we are, for what we are. And for you to sit there and make fun of somebody else, that's mocking God. And it's so selfish. And I don't get how nobody can, not even teachers or like principals in school systems can see that this is going on. They see most of it, some of it, but not even the whole thing. And it's not even that you're bullying people in person now, but it's through text messages and Facebook. It's through Twitter. I see so much stuff on Twitter all the time. I don't even get on there anymore because it's ridiculous how bad people bash each other on there and trash talk each other. And it's humiliating. Like, I'm embarrassed for the person bullying everybody else because you're making yourself not only look stupid, but you're hurting the other person that you're talking about. It's not cool to bully others. It's not. And if you're sitting back and not doing anything about the other person bullying, if you're not stopping that person from bullying everybody else, then you're being a bully because you're not standing up for it and you're not stopping them. Like, you need to realize that. People need to realize that this isn't a light subject. Especially because I've had personal experiences with bullying and because I've lost people that I love and people that are close to me because of bullying and because of suicide from bullying. It's not something to just push aside and sweep under a rug and forget about it. You can't forget about it whenever it affects you daily. I remember when I was in 7th grade, people made fun of me, and I was so self-conscious about myself that I wouldn't even want to go to school because I was so scared that I'm going to walk into school and everybody, not everybody, but the people that were bullying me and their friends were going to start bullying me again. Like, it makes you think that you can't even do stuff that you want to do. It holds you back from doing stuff that you love when somebody constantly makes fun of you for it or talks about you because you're doing it or because you like to dress in a different style than everybody else, so people make fun of you for it. That makes no sense, because just because they don't want to dress like you doesn't mean that they're no good or that they don't have money, so you need to call them poor. Like, that's ridiculous. I don't understand where people come up with these stereotypes anymore, because it's all these cliques and everything. It is beyond ridiculous. I walked into the high school last week at Fairmont Senior, and just to like look around the room and see cliques, it's ridiculous. No one needs to not like somebody else just because they're in a different sport. I mean, then that should mean that somebody else shouldn't like you because you play football or you're a cheerleader or you're in the band. It makes no sense. If the world really operated like that, nobody would like each other because nobody is the same, and there's a reason for that. If we were all the same, we would be bored with each other all the time. This world would be a boring, dull place. And parents that are teaching their kids about stuff and know that their kids are bullying others and don't do anything about it. Parents are playing a big role in this because kids learn from examples. And I'll be at the mall or I'll be at my cousin's football games and hear parents talking about other parents or talking about teenagers and kids. You're like in your 40s and you're sitting there talking about a 13-year-old. That's beyond ridiculous, and that's just unreal. Like, you're clearly unhappy in your life and your marriage and your career that you need to sit there and make fun of a 14-year-old and her parents. No, you don't do that. And kids are learning from their parents how to bully, how to make fun of other people, because they hear their parents talking about people all the time. You need to be setting positive examples. If you have younger brothers and sisters, you need to be setting a positive example for them, showing them that it's not okay to bully others, that it's not okay to make fun of other people because they're different, because we're all different from each other. And if you hear somebody talking about somebody else or bullying somebody else, stand up for them, because if that was you, you would want someone to stand up for you and just stop it. So you need to stop it for somebody else. I don't care if you don't like them. I don't care if you don't know them. All you need to do is say, listen, stop. You really need to stop talking about them. You really need to stop bullying them. It doesn't make you any better by bullying them or talking about them. So it really needs to stop. And then just walk away from the situation. And if they don't want to be your friend anymore, good. You don't need them as a friend anyways if they're sitting around talking about each other and bullying each other, because that means that they're going to do it to you behind your back when you're not around if they're going to do it to everybody else. I just don't understand this world anymore. No wonder, like, people are so self-conscious about themselves and don't want to do anything anymore. They just want to sit in their room and hide away, because people are cruel. No matter what you do, no matter how old you are, people are cruel. And it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. So next time you hear somebody talking about somebody else or bullying somebody else, please stand up for it, because you would want someone to stand up for you.